Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Harris makes a deal with Stefan while Xander is out on bond in order to protect Ava. Sarah races to the interrogation room when she receives a call from Justin informing her that Xander is going to be released. Xander clarifies that Justin persuaded the judge to grant him release because Harris is unable to identify him as the gunman. They're shocked that EJ let that to occur. More significantly, though, he will be home. They give one another a passionate kiss. Harris emerges into the living area as Ava tries to dismiss Stefan at her door. He clarifies that the person who shot him was Stefan. Stefan claims he had no option, but Ava slaps him. Harris claims that every one of them had an option. Perhaps none of the turmoil with Clyde would have occurred if Ava had approached him. Ava concurs that she ought to have had faith in him. Paulina is surrounded by Chanel, Johnny, and Abe at the hospital as they rejoice over her impending return home. Though Paulina originally proposes the newlyweds spend some time alone together, they all make plans to see Eli and Lonnie this summer. She gives them the command to return home and recuperate. Paulina tells her husband to give her some sweets after they cooperate. He leans in to give her a happy kiss. Roman and Kate pay a visit, ecstatic to find Paulina flourishing. Additionally, Abe affirms that he recalls every detail of their past together as partners. Paulina said she will return to work as mayor once she and Abe fly home tomorrow. Kate is unaware of the improvement in her health. Paulina describes how she was cured after speaking with Abe and having a white light sweep over her. Abe continues, "At the same time, I got my memory back." Chanel tells Johnny that their small wedding was ideal in spite of the circumstances as they walk around the square. Although Johnny concurs, their first dance together as husband and wife was not had. They swing back and forth, encircling one another in arms. They make their way to the Salem Inn when Johnny realizes there's one more thing he and his wife haven't done together. Maggie welcomes Sarah and Xander home. Victoria stays with Maggie. Although Xander's kid won't be here until tomorrow, tonight is all ours for the moment. After kissing, they make out in their underwear on the couch. Stefan defends Ava to Harris in the flat, but Ava reiterates that they ought to have trusted the investigator. Everyone lives, according to Stefan, so nothing bad happened. Stefan is described by Harris as an obscene piece of work. How about her? Stefan wonders angrily and then admits to Harris that they slept together. Harris doesn't seem to care that a remorseful Ava is trying to tell him that they had too much to drink one night. This is now, and that was then. Stefan declares that he will take Ava with him if he succumbs to this. Harris retorts that he will conceal the identity of his shooter if Stefan accepts responsibility for being Clyde's partner, despite the fact that it is obvious Ava was forced. Stefan's sentence for money laundering and drug trafficking will be less severe than it would be for trying to kill a police officer. Stefan mulls it over. Stefan won't like what occurs after Harris yells that he has till tomorrow morning to turn himself in or the arrangement is off. Xander is sitting solemnly at the table when Sarah awakens on the couch. She puts her arms around him and he wipes his eye. He tells how he dreamed that he was unable to reach Victoria or her. He is aware that it stands for his fear of being convicted of attempted murder. He was unable to bear to be apart from her and Victoria once more. Sarah gives him a kiss and a hug. Abe tells Roman, over coffee in the hospital lobby, that Lexi is the one who gave Paulina and him the miracle. But he feels betrayed by Paulina now that he can remember Lexi again. Roman begs him not to let his past interfere with his relationship with Paulina. Paulina fears to Kate in her room that her personality will be too much for Abe after they had been away for so long. Kate reassures her, saying she knows what it's like to be with someone more laid back. They convey their gratitude for one another's friendship. Xander questions whether he is being punished for his past in their flat. Xander is demonstrating to Sarah that people do indeed evolve and change. Xander wonders if it would be better for her and Victoria without him. Sarah tells him to pay attention to her. He's essential to her and Victoria, so she wants him in their lives. She shows him the way to the bedroom after they exchange kind words. When Johnny and Chanel get to their hotel room, they start ripping each other's clothes off. Chanel later claims that while she's in his embrace, nothing can go wrong. Johnny says he thinks the same thing and advises them to spend a few days there. He is aware of her fatigue following her ordeal. He gives her a soft kiss. "Good night, lovely." Ava tells Harris, alone in the apartment, that what transpired between her and Stefan was nothing. She can tell he's angry even if he seems calm. He says they are powerless to alter the past. They have no choice but to proceed. She questions why he is keeping her safe. "Because I know you love me and I love you." While he was in the hospital, he heard her say that. She tells him she meant it while crying. "I cherish you, Harris." Stefan asks what a guy needs to do in this town to have a drink after realizing that the pub is closed. Stefan complains, "I take the fall for everything," while she gets away with it. "We'll investigate that." Is it possible that Constantine's memory is faulty and that John, Katharina, and someone else shot the gunman? Days in the life rumors and teasers suggest that Constantine Meliunis may not have remembered everything. For starters, traumatic memories are frequently jumbled. According to Constantine's memory, he and his daughter Katharina were at home when John Black pulled a gun on them and shot both of them. Steve Johnson didn't see the shot, but he heard it. Steve Johnson was in Aria at that time with John, who was being brainwashed to assume the identity of the pawn. John had gone inside first, and he was outside when he heard the gunshot. While Katharina was dead and Constantine lay comatose on the ground, John seemed to be in a trance and was gripping a revolver. John happened to step in after overhearing what Steve had informed Marlena Evans about what had transpired. The circumstantial evidence didn't look good because John was holding the gun while in a trance and there were 2 victims on the floor, one dead, the other comatose. Victor Kyriakis had dispatched them with a message for Constantine, who was in fact his opponent rather than a friend. John doesn't even recall being in Aria with Steve, he doesn't recall anything. He was the pawn and doesn't know if he shot Katharina or Constantine. However, Constantine now tells a different account, claiming to remember his eyes, possibly when he was pointing the gun at him. Which is true, that he said John killed her in front of him at first, or that he was waking up to find her dead? But Steve wasn't in there at all. He entered after Katharina was shot, and Constantine didn't realize she had been shot until he woke up. Behind those locked doors, a lot of things could have happened. John might have approached another gunman and fired at him. It's reasonable to wonder if Constantine is blatantly lying, which does appear to be his pattern, or if trauma is causing him to misremember what truly happened. He is undoubtedly speaking the truth about how his daughter was shot and killed, and it was a horrific experience. But in reality, Steve witnessed the girl dead and him comatose. He didn't know what had transpired when he pulled John out of there, other than the fact that he was behaving delirious and brandishing a gun in their direction. However, given Constantine's history of lying and manipulating his stories to suit his needs, is it possible that this was actually what happened?